All right, good afternoon. We'll get started. Before we start, there's a couple people I want to recognize. Some of my command staff's here. Assistant Chief Rick Styron in the back, Lieutenant Mike Jackson, Lieutenant Susan Clifton, and Lieutenant Tom Warnke is right here. My name is Josh Berger. I'm the police chief here, and I have the pleasure of presenting awards to the recipients here today. First and foremost, I'd like to thank all the family and friends that are here. Behind the scenes, you guys support the men and women that are sitting up here that allow them to come here and do their jobs and do it well. It's nice to be able to recognize our employees. A lot of great things are done every day here that people just don't see. There was a quote I found when I was preparing for this. I like quotes. And Julia Child said, "The measure of achievement is not winning awards. It's doing something that you appreciate, something that you believe is worthwhile." And the awards are nice, but that's really not the reason these folks do it. They do it because it's the right thing to do. Their hearts are in it, and that's why they came to the organization, was to serve. Obviously, it's an honor for me to be able to recognize these folks that have gone above and beyond. They're passionate, compassionate at times, and very driven. You're going to hear about a burglary case that started in Pasadena but really reached all over the Houston area. There's some pretty good work. An alert jailer that helped identify a suspect. You have a sergeant that was eating lunch and ended up helping to save a lady's life. So you just never know when you're going to have to spring into action and do what you need to do to help save somebody's life or to bring a case to a close. One of the things I think the Pasadena Police Department has is a long tradition of great police work. In this community, I say easy. It's easier to police in this community, I think, than anywhere else because of the support that we have from the community. And so that makes it a lot easier to do our jobs, and I say a lot more fun to come to work when you're appreciated by the people that you're out there serving, and we truly have that from this community. Another quote I found: "Recognition is not a scarce resource. You can't use it up or run out of it." And that's one of those things for the supervisors that are in the room is, it's not about the money, it's about the recognition. It's, going up, telling somebody thank you, recognize them in roll call, ceremonies like this. But people like to be recognized, and just a pat on the back, a good job, it goes a long way. So today we're going to be giving 3 different types of awards. The first one's going to be the Outstanding Performance Award. The second one's going to be the Meritorious Award. And the last is going to be the Distinguished Service Award. So we're going to start with the Outstanding Performance Award. And let me tell you a little bit about what this award's given for. It can be awarded to an employee, sworn or civilian, who displays a high degree of initiative and professionalism in the performance of their duties. Today we're going to have 3 recipients of the Outstanding Performance Award. I'm going to start with PSO Crystal Wade, if you'll come up here for me and bring your little one. So Crystal's going to be receiving the Outstanding Performance Award, and let me tell you a little bit about Crystal and her background. So she was born and raised in Chicago, and she moved to the Houston area 4 years ago. A little bit warmer here, I assume. Don't miss shoveling snow? No. Since she moved here, she's been employed with the Pasadena Police Department as a PSO, and PSO, there are police service officers. What they do is they are dispatchers, are jailers. They're kind of the unsung heroes oftentimes of our department because the PSOs, especially ones that staff dispatch, they're oftentimes citizens' first contact with the police department when they call. And so, that first impression, it goes a long way. And that's one of the things that we strive with our dispatchers and the call takers is, that being professional and setting the tone early on when somebody calls. She is married with a baby girl, obviously. She attended Western Illinois University and graduated with a bachelor's degree in law enforcement and justice administration, minoring in psychology. In addition to this, she furthered her education, receiving a master's in intelligence and homeland security from American Military University. Her interest in law enforcement was fueled by several family members who are also in the same field. She gives particular credit to her grandfather, who retired as a commanding lieutenant of the homicide unit for Chicago PD. after 35 years of service. I'm sure he's got a lot of stories. She interned with the St. Charles Police Department as well as worked for the Abington Police Department with their PALS program. When she's not at work, she enjoys spending time with her family and creating artistic works of art through photography. So let me tell you a little bit about what Crystal did to be recognized here today with the Outstanding Performance Award. On August 28, 2018, Crystal was assigned to the jail. Earlier in the day, Detective Thornton distributed information from one of his cases to all personnel in regards to a recent trend in credit card and debit card crimes, which involved Cuban immigrants. At about 2:30 that day, Crystal contacted Detective Thornton about a person who was just arrested and brought to the Pasadena jail for traffic violations. She remembered the details about the bolo that was put out earlier that day, and she noticed the suspect was from Cuba that was being booked in possession of several debit cards that were not in his name. It's usually a clue, right? Crystal believed that this merited further investigation, and she talked to Detective Thornton about it with the bolo or the information that had come out earlier in the suspect that was being booked into jail. Soon after, a victim was located whose information was fraudulently copied onto the counterfeit debit cards that the prisoner was in possession of. He was subsequently charged with fraudulent use or possession of identifying information. During the interview, provided critical information about where the victim's credit card information originated. It was a direct result of Crystal's efforts that this person was held responsible for his crimes. This is really a case about paying attention, looking at the details. We put out a lot of bolos every day of being on the lookout for, and so this is pretty good police work of behind the scenes. Here's the jailer booking someone in and has the wherewithal to put all this together and really make a case that we might not have otherwise made. So. You're going to be presented with the Outstanding Performance Award, and congratulations and thank you for your work. Detectives TP and Detective Sorrell, if you'll come up here for me. So these two are also going to be receiving the Outstanding Performance Award for a case that they worked together, and they'll argue about who was the lead detective and all that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It was good police work, and the bad guys are in jail. Ray Sorrell, right here, he grew up in Jacksonville, Texas, attended Jacksonville High School, and graduated in May of 1994. After high school, he attended Stephen F. Austin State University, received a bachelor's degree in December of 1998 in criminal justice and psychology. His career in law enforcement began in 1999 at the Jacksonville Police Department, serving on both patrol and detectives until leaving in October of 2002 to begin a career with the Pasadena Police Department. He started his career with the department on night shift until January of 2007, where he was transferred to the Detective Division. He started in burglary, he was in burglary and theft, where he still currently serves. He's also been a member of the Pasadena SWAT team since August of 2006. Ray is married to his wife, Melva, since December of 2012, and they have 4 children between them, Lexi, Mia, Grayson, and Julian. I'll tell you a little bit about Detective TP. He was raised in LaPorte, attended LaPorte High School. Shortly after graduating high school, he left for the Marine Corps, where he served in the infantry division for 4 years. In March of 1995, he married his wife, Laura, and had 2 children, Ricky III, who is currently serving in the Marine Corps, and Patrick, who is a freshman in high school. Rick is a proud grandfather of Everett, who was born in September of 2017 to his son Ricky and wife Emily. He joined the Pasadena Police Department in June of 2008, where he spent the majority of his time on night shift patrol. In October of 2013, he was assigned to the Burglary and Theft Unit, where he is currently still serving. So let me tell you about this case. You might have seen it on the news. It was a good case. Detective TP, with the assistance from Detective Sorrell, began the investigation when an ATM was forcibly removed from the Precinct 2 courthouse in Pasadena up at 225 and Ritchie. The suspects used a stolen Ford F-250 pickup. They backed into the building and put a chain around the ATM and ripped it from the floor. Obviously, this caused extensive damage to the building, in addition to the theft of the ATM and the money that it contained. The suspects continued their crime spree, hitting other courthouse locations in Houston and Baytown area. The detectives conducted an intense review of video surveillance from surrounding businesses and routes leading to and from crime locations, revealing several suspect vehicles. Vehicles, along with the investigators' prior knowledge of the suspects known for these types of crime, led to extensive surveillance operations. This really started as good old-fashioned police work. They Went to some of the nearby businesses, found some of the vehicles that were involved. But not only were they using the stolen truck, but they also had lookout vehicles. And so by them going and finding the surveillance video, they found a lot of these other vehicles that were involved that kept popping up at these locations where these burglaries were happening. And one of the things that I'm pretty proud of these guys on this case is not only did they work the case here in Pasadena, but because of the reputation they have, really in the county, they took the lead on all the cases that were happening all over Harris County. So it's good work. So on May 22nd at 3 o'clock, members of the Burglary and Theft Unit were conducting surveillance on the Precinct 1 courthouse in downtown Houston. Not Pasadena, downtown Houston. And they witnessed 2 ATM burglaries, which resulted in several arrests and the recovery of an ATM that fell out of the back of a pickup truck being pursued by a marked unit. These arrests were broadcast on the news following a press conference held at the Pasadena Police Station. The results from that case are as follows. They had 13 individuals arrested for organized crime. The suspects from the Pasadena case were responsible for 23 ATM thefts, 9 auto thefts, 6 welder thefts, and approximately $1.7 million in damages and thefts. The information for this case was distributed to the Houston Police Department and the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office, which led to the identification and arrest of 2 additional burglary crews. Detective T.P. Insurrell did an outstanding job conducting a large-scale investigation, which resulted in a rash of countywide ATM thefts being brought to a halt. Their exhaustive investigation was difficult to maintain as they received additional cases on a daily basis. The world doesn't stop because of the ATM thefts. The cases keep coming in, and they keep getting assigned out. So they can't just focus on that. They've got to juggle and prioritize. Their teamwork and coordination with the outside agencies is the reason they are being the recipients of the Outstanding Performance Award. Help me congratulate Detective T.P. and Detective Sorrell. I'll speak for them, and I'll tell you that it wasn't just these 2 guys. There's a lot of work behind the scenes. A lot of the investigators are standing along the wall over here to my left that are trying to hide. It really was a team effort, and it took everybody pulling together to do it. So. Next, I'd like to call Sergeant Jordan up, please. So Sergeant Jordan's going to be receiving the Meritorious Service Award. And this ribbon may be issued to any officer who serves in a manner especially worthy of recognition for superior performance and professional excellence. The service rendered may be on or off duty, must be in the performance of duty and undertaken with no definitive risk to his or her own life or fear of imminent bodily injury. So let me tell you a little bit about Ronnie Jordan, and then I'll tell you about what he did to deserve this award. Sergeant Ronnie Jordan was raised in Pasadena by his parents Max and Nadine Jordan. He graduated from Sam Rayburn High School in 1977, where he was chosen as best dressed from a senior class. Learn something new every day up here. Ronnie joined the 32nd Pasadena Police Academy on March 26, 1979, and will celebrate his 40th year of service in March. That's an accomplishment in and of itself. He graduated from the Lehman Leadership Command College, Class 23, in 1996. Ronnie worked on all 3 patrol shifts as an officer and promoted to sergeant on March 18, 1992. He and fellow sergeant at the time, Kevin Wingerson, were riding together after they had recently been promoted and captured a murder suspect who had just shot a man at the Elks Lodge on Ritchie. Both men were awarded the Charlie Matthews Community Service Award for their efforts. So I guess nothing new to be recognized for you, huh? Done good work through your 40 years. Sergeant Jordan has served as supervisor on patrol, community services, financial crimes, Crime Stoppers, Children's Assessment Center, juveniles, and the chief's office, and he's currently assigned to day shift patrol. If that's not enough, Ronnie also serves as an ordained minister and in his 19th year as a pastor at the Cathedral of Praise Church in the Sheldon community. He enjoys singing and playing the guitar. as he leads the country Christian band in which his dad, his sons, and his grandkids are a part. Ronnie is engaged to Judith. He's a father to a daughter and 2 sons, and is a proud popo to his 4 grandchildren, Joy, Max, Axel, and Lily. Anybody that knows Jordan knows that he is a family man and very proud of his kids and his grandkids. So let me tell you about what Ronnie Jordan did to receive this award. On Wednesday, November 21st, 2018, Sergeant Jordan and Sergeant Novotny were having lunch at Papa's Barbecue there on the Beltway at about 11:25 a.m. Kathleen McKay approached them and appeared to be distressed, but she wouldn't tell them anything initially. Sergeant Jordan quickly asked her if she was okay, and she shook her head that she was not. He then asked if she was choking, and she shook her head, indicating that she was choking. Sergeant Jordan immediately began to perform the Heimlich maneuver, which dislodged the food that was blocking her airway. She stated after a few moments that she could now breathe. However, she had a severe headache. An ambulance arrived and quickly transported her to Memorial Southeast Emergency Room to be medically assessed. But the story doesn't end there. Sergeant Jordan and Sergeant Novotny both went to the hospital to follow up with Kathleen. When they got there, they found out that she was concerned about her vehicle that was still in the parking lot of the restaurant. Sergeant Jordan and Sergeant Novotny worked together to get her car, take it to her house, and put it in her garage, and then they went to the hospital to meet with her. They remained with Kathleen for about an hour until her son arrived to the hospital so she would not be alone. Due to Sergeant Jordan's quick response, he provided instant medical assistance to a citizen in need. Due to these actions going above and beyond to help someone in dire need, I'm proud to present you with a Meritorious Service Award. Go for it.
Preachers have to say something. No, thank you all, and there's a lot of folks from my family and my church that are here today, and all you officers that I've served with these years, and it would have to happen in a restaurant. With my eating disorder I have, but this lady was precious, and she was definitely one of our ladies that we behold in the community, and we never know what the next call for service might be, and my background came in handy. I worked in respiratory therapy at Bayshore. Before being a policeman, I met a officer there at the hospital. That's how I got here to the department. Harold Nassif and Bud Washburn told me about the department hiring here. So I worked in respiratory, and I noticed that she was in distress, and that day Sergeant Novotny and I, Matt, is he in here?
He's hiding.
He's hiding over there. But Matt was the one that put pen to paper on this, and Matt, thank you. We've been academy buddies and friends forever, and thank all of y'all that came today, and I still look forward to coming to work and helping people, and thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Officer Riddle. So Officer Riddle is going to be receiving the Distinguished Service Award. Let me tell you what that award is presented for. This ribbon may be issued to any officer who saves a human life or prevents the consequences of a major crime in the performance of their duty while either on or off duty, and does so with a known fear or risk to their own life. It may be awarded to an officer wounded or injured in the performance of their duties while on duty, and the wound or injury received by the officer was received while following normal officer safety practices. The ribbon is superior in status to that of the preceding. So let me tell you a little bit about Officer Simone Riddle. Simone was born in England and came to the United States in 1977. She graduated from John Marshall High School in 1998. 1988, what did I say?
98.
98? You wish, right? You wish. Took 10 years off, right? Yeah. It says 88. I read 98. See that? And also attended San Antonio College. She joined the Bexar County Sheriff's Office in 1993, working in the jail, patrol, and the gang unit before applying with the Pasadena Police Department. She attended the 50th Pasadena Police Academy in August of 2000. Simone has worked on all patrol shifts, bike patrol, and was the first female ever to work in the motorcycle division. She's currently assigned to night shift patrol. Let me tell you a little bit about what Simone did to deserve this award. On November 26, 2018, at approximately 9:28 p.m., dispatch broadcast information of an aggravated robbery which had just taken place at 6422 Spencer at the Dollar General. This was also another pattern or series of robberies that were taking place, not just in Pasadena, but all over. Description was given of a black Hyundai which had been seen traveling west on Spencer away from the business. Officer Riddle, using your acute observation skills, located a vehicle at the intersection of Spencer and Beltway 8, possibly matching the description. She notified dispatch, maneuvered behind the vehicle, and began to follow until additional officers could respond to help her in conducting a traffic stop. Officer Riddle soon after attempted to stop the vehicle. However, the suspect led officers on a brief pursuit. Officer Riddle and additional officers followed the suspect while updating dispatch and responding units to their location. During the pursuit, the suspect discarded the hoodie he was wearing during the robbery. Officer Riddle broadcast the location of the discarded hoodie, which was later located and recovered. This was particularly important as this hoodie was seen being worn by a suspect in a previous armed robbery within our city. The brief pursuit came to an end when the suspect, being taken into custody without any injuries to the citizens, officers, or the suspect. Located in the vehicle was a handgun and the money which was believed to be stolen from the Dollar General. Officer Riddle's outstanding awareness of her surroundings and keen observation skills led to the apprehension of a suspect who has possibly been responsible for several aggravated robberies within our city. Due to Officer Riddle's quick and precise actions, the victims and the citizens of Pasadena will see an immediate and positive impact. Because of her actions, Officer Riddle has been selected to receive the Distinguished Service Award. Would you like to say anything? One more time, give it a hand for everybody. So obviously this highlights just a small portion of the good work that goes on here day in, day out. But it's also a great opportunity for the citizens and the other employees here to be able to recognize some of the folks for the good work that goes on. Dale Carnegie once said, people work for money, but go the extra mile for recognition, praise, and rewards. And again, that goes back to, making sure we tell people thanks and recognize good work when it happens. I'd like to thank you all for attending. If you would, you can stay around. There's cake, punch over here, and visit with the award recipients. Thank you all very much.